How are we all doing? How are we doing? Let me hear it. How was your week? How is everything going with you, your business, your development life, design, whatever you do? If we got anybody popping in right at 10, let me know if the audio is good. I'm going to check myself as I tend to do here. Let's take a peek. Oh, that's perfect. That is lovely. I don't know why I don't know why I even check anymore. It seems like it works every time, but it's good to check. Rob, appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much. Hope you're doing well. Sweet. I'm gonna be completely frank and honest with you guys. We have to dive into this today because we have less than 60 minutes because of the absolute star-studded lineup that is WordPress Super Duper Thursday, which I just came up with and I coined that entirely myself over the past 2 days. I actually had to rename it. If you're following on Twitter here, I can bring up some of the stuff we're talking about here. We'll get a little inception going on too. But let me pull up this tweet here real quick, and we'll just kind of start talking about some things. I have to cover this right away because there's a lot going on, and I want to make sure that you guys are informed and I don't know, get to experience everything because this is my morning, at least. I don't care if I wrote this for anybody else, that's awesome. But this is going to be my morning here as well. So I have this tweet over here, which if I grab this link, I think I can throw it in here. If you guys aren't following on Twitter, I'd appreciate a follow. Don't have to if you don't want to. I think I'm somewhat informative and funny sometimes. But anyway, this tweet here is I tweeted this out yesterday and I called it Super Thursday, WordPress Super Thursday. And then I was like, and then I found out today, which I knew about, which is a slight side topic here we're going to get into just in a second. The admin bar is doing a round table with the survey results from the tab survey. Hopefully you all did that. That is at 1 p.m. So I found out about that today. So I then recoined today's the name of today to Super Duper Thursday, because it's a jam-packed morning and early afternoon here. So, I mean, just to kind of quickly go over, we're doing this right now, 10 a.m. live stream. Had to move this because our buddy Matt at WP Minute is having an amazing chat with Sam Harrison, who I have seen some of his content now, but just got turned on to Webflow gentleman. Seems like a very strong agency that he's got going on in the Webflow world. And you guys should definitely take a look at that. So I'll grab all these links here and I'll pop them in because they're all going to be streamed live on YouTube, just like this one is moving forward the rest of the day here. So we are butted up against the next slot here. So I don't want to run into their time, obviously, and I want to watch it. Like I want to be in the chat for that. So I'm getting off of here probably a little bit before 11. So it'll be a short one today. But we did a streamathon last week, didn't we? Was that last week? Yeah. So we're good. But yeah, so that's the first one. I'm really excited about that. Just to go over some of these really, really quick. I'm really excited about the WordPress versus Webflow thing. I actually used Webflow a little bit. I want to say maybe like a year or so ago because I was like interested in like what it offered, and I didn't, I didn't obviously continue going with it because there's pros and cons. But for somebody that uses it all the time, and Matt's obviously very not interrogative, but the way that he thinks about open source versus like a proprietary system like Webflow, I'm just really excited for that conversation. So definitely check that out. And then at noon, I'm actually going to be on another live stream. I'm going to be tired after this. I'm going to be on another live stream with WP Tonic. If you guys haven't seen them, definitely go check them out. I'll drop the link to the live and definitely make sure you subscribe to them. I'm going to be live with Jonathan Denwood over there and Kurt. So that'll be a fun conversation. First time chatting with those gents, but I've watched a ton of their content and I love what they're doing for the community as well. So, buddy, what's up? Skating, how you doing, brother? So yeah, that's what we got going on at 12. So if you want to see me again, go head over there, be in the chat, say what's up. And then again, 1 p.m. Really excited for this one as well. I will be in the chat for this. The admin bar live survey results. So if you've done that tab survey, there's so much data that Kyle gathers over there that really gives you a better picture as to, at least the sample size of the admin bar, the people that complete it, like a really good idea of kind of what people are doing and just like the colleagues, the people you're talking to all the time. So I'm really excited to see what everybody has to say about that. And that's with a lot of great people are Kyle, WP Toots, Miriam Schwab, Josh Hall, and then Julia Taylor over at Geek Pack. So I'll drop that link down there for you guys as well. But yeah, I hear there is some news, Steven. There's always news. There's always news in this. I don't know if there's ever a time. It's funny that I'm thinking about this because there's a bunch of stuff going on today that we just went through, obviously. But I was thinking about this like yesterday, whenever I was trying to make the thumbnail and video for this, and I was like, someday maybe I will get an opportunity to actually maybe do like a live working session or something, which would be cool. Maybe I could try to I could try to teach and learn, and we could, work together or something like that. But every single time I go to do one of these things, every single week, there's like new things happening, which I love talking about and I love covering. So the lives are turning into some sort of, basically WordPress community stuff, which I think we talk about good topics still, but it's just kind of interesting. So that's there's always news. There's always news seemingly. So yeah. But that's the Super Tuesday lineup, Super Duper Tuesday. And then, just to kind of quickly recap the week though, because obviously I titled this like huge week in WordPress. Really, it's a huge day in WordPress, but it's been followed up by seemingly again another big week in WordPress. And yeah, exactly. We'll cover that. ACS 3 was pretty cool. I don't know what to say about that right now. It's on my list here. We're getting to it. It's just unbelievable what Kevin and the whole automatic CSS team has done. And obviously, yeah, skating, like definitely same thing, same sentiment. A lot of good stuff there. I definitely want to chat about that here in a bit. Weekly recap stuff, just real quick. Let me kind of close out some of the tabs. We talked about some of the things that are going on. I will drop just super high level. Literally this morning, I recorded a new channel trailer, and I just made it. I just made it live, like literally right before this. I'll drop a link there if anybody cares. It's only 3 minutes just to kind of get an idea of what people are doing and kind of what we're seeing, what's going on, and everything like that. Let me slide back over here for just a moment. So there's a channel trailer, and then the other stuff was I do want to kind of reshare this out. So like this was kind of so what happened here was I'm gonna drop this link to my chat with Matt over on WP Minute. And that was actually on the podcast channel. But the concept there, I want to give you the behind the scenes on how that kind of manifested and everything. So I had that streamathon, which Matt coined that phrase last week for like 2.5 hours or whatever. And I thought we talked about a lot of really good things. Go check it on the replay if you hadn't seen it. But I thought we talked about a lot of really good things. It was really helpful for me, really like insightful to kind of hear, you guys in the chat that like, have been here longer and trying to and do that. And a couple things happened from that. First thing is obviously Matt was in there, and then he reached out to me, and we had a chat on, I think it was Friday afternoon, and then I think that was released like Monday, I guess, this week. So that was a really good chat as well. Learned a lot of different back and forth concepts there. And then it actually prompted me, and we can kind of go over some of it here, but I do want to kind of go back and talk about some of those things that are happening today. It prompted me to like write like a huge list, and it's just the beginning of a bunch of questions that I have, like not really about WordPress anymore, but just like to the community and like get different people's perspectives on it. Cause I'm still extremely in the dark as far as like I still don't have like a full sentiment on like how people think about the project, what they think the goals of the project are. It still doesn't seem like concise enough or consistent enough for me to wrap my head around. Maybe it is. I just haven't gotten that clarity yet. And I've had a lot of really good conversations. A lot of you guys like in the comments and everything like that. Can't thank you guys enough for the support and honestly the enlightenment and the insight and everything. So it's just been really, really cool, really fun. Also, I'm going to grab a link to Brendan's channel here because last night I had a great surprise as I was perusing YouTube to find that our boy Brendan was on live stream, and I was in the chat for that, and that was a great time. So I appreciate you, brother. I think you should continue to do those because there's a lot of great value there. I learned more about Advanced Themer and this awesome other tool called, I'm escaping me right now. What's it called? Remind me in the chat, Brendan. What's it called? Active Pieces? Something. But fantastically, Zapier on steroids. So go check out Brendan's channel. I just threw it in the chat there. Make sure you're subscribed to him if you're not already. But appreciate you being here, brother. Exactly. Always good to see Brendan. And Paradise was also in that stream last night with Brendan. Great to see you here as well. Thank you. Yep, definitely go check out the replay of Brendan's stream there. A lot of great insights there. So yeah. And yeah, so kind of getting back to it with some of the recap stuff. Just trying to go back through in my head. Talked about the live stream, talked about the recap with Matt. We need to dive into some of the other things. We need to talk about some of the ACSS stuff, because that was like another big thing that just kind of happened yesterday, really the last 2 days. And honestly, you guys are going to know more than me because I've built sites with ACSS, but I'm probably newer to this party still. And I'm just like seeing it and I'm like, this is actually incredible what it's able to kind of do. And I'm not just trying to blow smoke there. Like I genuinely, like, it's just the attention to detail. I've never seen the level of attention to detail in like another product before. And something personal for me, I was thinking, because I was actually trying to work on my website last night, which is obviously, as we know, the hardest thing to do. And I was trying to work on my website, and then I was thinking, like, what's the best workflow for those types of things, and trying to really dig into it. And like, I was like searching up videos, and I found a video, like of Kevin's from like way back. And I was looking at it, and it was from when he was building with Oxygen, and it wasn't even a plugin yet. This what I'm about to say has nothing even really to do with ACSS. It was just me like having a realization. It's like, wow, like look how far you can come in like 2-3 years time. And honestly, it was just like really like kind of cool for me to think about that things can evolve so quickly if you just like are, it was just one of those real life examples where it's like, just put your head down, work, share things and everything like that. So whether or not you use ACSS, totally beside the point, but that's one of the things that I kind of like learned, saw there and everything like that, just from that kind of like exchange and kind of the last couple videos that Kevin's put out there. And I'll drop, obviously probably most of you guys know about it, but I'll drop this in the chat as well, just the ACSS overview. But if you have anything to say about ACSS, definitely drop it in there, and we can chat more about it. But I'm excited for it. Obviously, extremely appreciative that I was in the alpha group, got to make a couple tweaks. I definitely did not contribute as much as other people, just because like I was trying to figure it all out. I'm still like in the learning curve with it, but super excited about it. Also, again, like I said, with Brendan's stream, the other thing I want to talk about is Advanced Themer. I think the LTD is back tomorrow. And if we don't have Advanced Themer yet, I mean, again, it's something that, again, looks like a little bit of a game changer. If you watch Brendan's stream last night, he gave a little bit of an overview, and I know he's made a lot of videos on it. But I'm definitely picking that LTD up tomorrow. So that's another thing that I've thought about, and and kind of dove into recently. But yeah, so honestly, the things that what do we got here? Actually, may I ask you something about AT, Mark? Yeah, I mean, if you have a question about AT, honestly, Brendan's in the chat. He might be able to answer it better than I can. But if you have a question, definitely do not hesitate to ask. But the other thing I do want to make sure that we kind of talk about here, and I think it would be really good. It's going to be obviously more so in 45 minutes from now. But I kind of thought of this as kind of like preparing for what we're going to kind of see later as well. And for some of my questions, I kind of want to run by some, Jonathan Denwood gave some like questions that we're going to talk about. So maybe we'll do a little warm up session here, with some of those things, but, just kind of get the juices flowing and see what everybody thinks. But the one thing I would love to know is like, I'm really excited for this Webflow conversation. I'm really excited. I hope like there's some good dialogue there. If anybody has any questions about that, we can have a discussion on like kind of what we think there. Um, it's I don't know. It's really cool. I've like it's an awesome builder. It's a good platform. But really, I think the question always comes down to it. And every time I talk to Matt, it's like open source versus not open source. And there's a lot of differing opinions on that, and it's very interesting to kind of hear what everybody has to say about those opinions there. So I don't know if we have anything there we can chat about it too. It's kind of like this is kind of a hodgepodge, a bunch of whatever we kind of want to talk about here today, just because there's a lot going on. I'm actually thinking of buying it tomorrow. I'm just not sure if it's such a game changer. If you see what ACSS 3.0 we're doing, yesterday's presentation made me wonder if I should go for it. So like, follow up there. I know it's not the same, but there's a lot of functionalities that are doing the same in the end. I was wondering yeah. So Brendan, definitely give your thoughts on that too. I trust your opinion more than I trust myself on this. But here's what I will say. From what I've seen from Advanced Themer, it is not a framework. Obviously, it's not a CSS framework. It's like a bricks builder enhancement, right? It extends the actual functionality of the builder in a lot of ways. It makes your life easier. It makes the building experience faster, more efficient, whatever, right? And that is something that if you're building a lot of websites could be extremely beneficial to you. Like, again, I haven't done a good enough job of this, guys, yet, and I apologize, of making like what I would classify more as like business content. For example, in the channel trailer that I did today, I said 3 things I'm going to do: technical content, business content, and WP community content. Done a really good job with the WP community content. Technical here and there, yes. I know we need more portable videos. I apologize. I'm doing other things. I will get to that. I appreciate you guys the support there. But the business stuff has kind of been lacking, and it's been lacking in a way because like I'm always trying to make my processes better. So when I think about the blend of like implementing and purchasing something like Advanced Themer, I look at the price tag, personally, my business, my mindset, and I see lifetime for $300 and some. That is like stupid cheap if you actually think about the grand scheme of things, right? Regardless of where you're at, I think you can sell one, if you want to say maybe 2. I don't know the economical situations of every single place in the world, right? Okay, so I'm generalizing here, but I'm saying like that seems obnoxiously cheap that you couldn't make your money back in definitely 2 or 3 projects if we're really going crazy, right? As far as like low pricing. My point being is that is more of like a business and technical decision in my mind. Like you have to evaluate the piece of tech, but you also have to make the business decision, right? And if you're going to be able to purchase something for that cheap and it's going to make you so much better, so much faster, so much more efficient with that workflow, it seems like to be almost a no-brainer. Now, I will say though, you bring up a great point about the ACS 3.0 thing, because I actually thought, as I was looking at this, there is one feature I thought that specifically that ACSS, it was the ID to class thing. I thought Kevin said that was coming to 3.0. I don't know if it was in 3.0 or like later version, but I could definitely see some of those things kind of getting built in there, but it's never going to be all of them, I don't think, because it's not the same thing. What I actually do think is way more likely, and I'll come back to that in a second. I want to read some of these comments. The only real overlap between ACS and is colors and variables. AT has only a few variables out of the box. You can add more. ACSS has done for you. Yep. And then absolutely cheap indeed. Yep. And then beyond that, ACSS has way more features. Content grid. AT has builder enhancement. Yep. And then Auto BIM is both. AT convert ID class to styling. Yeah, exactly. So the only thing that I would say, this is way more likely in my opinion. I don't want to say likely. I want to say way more logical, is for bricks to incorporate or purchase AT functionality. In my mind, just makes way more sense, right? I don't know, Thomas. I don't know. I haven't been here as long as you guys as far as the bricks community type stuff goes. So I don't know like the ins and outs if that would ever happen. I don't know the likelihood. That's why I don't want to say that. But logically, it does make more sense. So in my mind, the way that I analyze it is like, I'm going to pay $300 some, and then worst case scenario, which guys, I mean, it's crazy that that some of us have bricks for $200 or less. That's unbelievable. But the more likely thing, and the thing that I'm thinking about, is my worst case scenario is I spend 300 some dollars, and then tomorrow Thomas says, "Hey, we just bought Advanced Themer," and then like merges everything or puts it in there, and I'm out $300, but I still have all the features. So I don't know. I don't know if that answers your question, but I do think that with those three tools kind of in the mix. And again, the thing with Advanced Themer is I don't know it in and out. Like I don't want to, the one thing I don't want to do, because I've done this so many times, um, it's specifically with Notion as an example, I like to over engineer things, and I like to like see really powerful tools and see how they can help me. But you got to realize that there's a point of like diminishing returns. It's like if you try so hard to optimize this tool or use this tool or benefit from it, then there is a chance that at a certain point you might be like just wasting your time because you're not actually getting the work done. I'm not saying this would happen. I'm just saying I have a tendency to do this. So if I hop in Advanced Themer, I need to be like, now I have a whole new tool to learn how to do, which will save me time and will be worth it. But I have to make sure that I do it like intentionally with a purpose and actually fucking learn the thing to build the websites so I can be faster rather than just learn the thing to learn the thing. Now, in my case, I can make content on it perhaps as well and, slightly benefit from that, I guess, but that's not like a normal, that's not everyone. Right. So I don't know. I'm just kind of giving you guys the whole thing is here, but, CS Grid. What about CS Grid is interfering? One indication of this, Maxime had an amazing class manager about 3 or 4. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So then they did it. Yeah. So I don't know. Again, take a look at the list, query manager, all sorts of other little, quality of life things. But I think I'll be picking it up just because it makes too much sense. And I am a sucker for a good LTD. So thank you for hey, absolutely 100% anytime. I'll make a decision tomorrow and while being on the site. I love the ideas of enhancements and bricks because I need it. But yeah. I mean, it's I'm excited to see where it goes too. Because again, if it's all built into bricks, I mean that's beneficial for everybody. But I'll be telling people about the LTD tomorrow for sure. Because I think that it's might be at least worth the look. Cool. All right. So what else we got here? Anything else you guys want to chat about specifically? Open to chat. What I will do on my end though, is I will bring up some questions. I could literally talk 4 hours about questions on that I wrote down, but we only have 30 minutes, so maybe we'll touch on some of them. I do want to take a couple peeks here at a couple things. I would also like to get. I was wondering, like, most things are there's a lot of controversy, right, in a lot of different places around the WordPress community, and I do have a couple topics that are not like, I wouldn't say controversial, but at least thoughtful. You have to be kind of thoughtful with them. So I think that that's something that we'll chat about here in a second here after I read these comments. I agree though. AT features should 100% be in Bricks core and throw in ACS while we're at it. Yeah, just buy it all. I love it. Is the LTD out? I use Oxyprops. Tomorrow is what I'm reading, I believe. Yeah, tomorrow. Nice. Can you do more WooCommerce websites with bricks? I can definitely do that. I definitely need to. Isaac, I love you, man. Yeah, I will dive right into that then. But real quick on the WooCommerce thing, yes. But I'm gonna tell you something real quick though. I want to address this and this will slide us into maybe some of the controversial stuff slightly. It's not really that controversial, but people do think it's controversial. Real quick on the WooCommerce thing. Okay, I am building this client portal. And I also have an old client portal that I'm managing, right? So that's like the live one that's on Elementor. And then I have a new one that I'm building with bricks and I'm documenting and I'm trying to get it live and everything, right? And I have had this issue recently, and I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying that like people shit on WooCommerce left and right. And they say like SureCart or North Commerce, and I haven't used either of them enough to really comment on them. I've used WooCommerce pretty heavily because I've used it for my own stuff and client stuff. I never really had like an extreme problem with it. And obviously it was just the big kid on the block, right? Or whatever. So I was just defaulted to it. I've spent like money on WooCommerce subscriptions, like the actual plugin that's like $300 a year now. I've spent money on like a custom payment gateway, like the Intuit payment gateway, rather than like Stripe, because I use QuickBooks. It's a really good idea, but I've been having actually trouble recently for some reason. And again, I'm not sure if it's on my end, if it's on WooCommerce end, if it's on the payment gateway end, with certain subscriptions for, like the maintenance plans of my clients. They just fail, and then I can't like even it's like the card's not bad. I can't re-enter the card. I can't fix the subscription. It's happened like 2 or 3 times now. And again, I'm talking about a one-off case here, but I'm just saying that like I do see how in certain cases people give WooCommerce shit, and I'm actually thinking about looking into SureCard. I don't think I'll be able to do it for the portal because I've already created the structure, and I don't even want to think about what the migration process for all that would be and all that. So I don't know what I'm going to do there, but I'm just kind of giving you this is a long-winded answer to say, yes, there's going to be more stuff there. If you have something specific, it's very hard. I'll give you the inside baseball on trying to create content. It's very difficult to like just come up with the scenario a lot of times. So either I'm doing it for myself, or I'm like creating a demo from a client thing. So if you have anything specific, definitely let me know. I should probably do more of that, because if you have a question, just you in general, but like if you have a question, then somebody else, probably 13 other people probably have the same question. So it's probably beneficial to kind of do that. So Isaac, WooCommerce gets bad when you try to do custom stuff. I try to avoid ecom sites. Yeah. Ecom is I love complex ecom stuff, and I've always loved it because it wasn't just a simple ass brochure site that I would want to like, stab my eyes out if I just kept doing it over and over again. But I have learned though, and this will get into the more business chat with the content as we move forward, and subsequent times here, if the WordPress drama ever dies down a little bit, which it probably won't, but I'll definitely put more content around this. But the high level is that I always thought that complex stuff I was going to be able to charge more. And then I talked to bigger agencies, and like the shit that people do for like hundreds of thousands of dollars is not really that complex. Like, so I'm not saying it isn't always, but I'm saying like it's simpler than you would think. It's just like, I haven't figured it out precisely yet, but when these big numbers happen, it's more of just like perspective. It's perception. It's perception that like more is happening and like people are better at what they're doing. But I know like one person shops that are really fucking good at what they do, and they don't charge $100,000. Now, again, different areas of the world, different levels of service, different amount of people on the team. I get all that. I'm not saying like economics and scaling, all that sort of stuff doesn't matter. I'm just saying like the quality of the outcome, the quality of the product is not always, to me, from what I've seen, better just because a bigger agency did it. So I say all that to say that my mindset has kind of shifted in the sense of maybe I don't have to do really complex sites to make more money. Maybe I just have to sell it differently, and specifically talk more about like ROI and like what the business actually gives a shit about, which is making money, rather than like all the hoopla that we love, which it's still baked in there, but you just sell it a little differently. That's the hypothesis, something I'm working with. It's kind of starting to work. I'm looking into North Commerce, only worried about how slow it's taking off, but the person in charge of North Commerce started to post big time lately, so maybe thinking they're starting to work on it again. Always a risk you run, right? No matter what we're doing here, there's a lot of small teams. I don't say avoid small teams, but I do. It's definitely a risk factor that you have to take into play. And yeah, I mean, I haven't looked into it enough, but from what I have heard, it seems promising. So I wish them the best. But because it's a bit slow to start, I'm doubting. Give it a try. Yep. 100% Isaac. Yep. I did some tests on SureCart. While probably limited on features, it is a lot lighter in terms of affecting page load speed. So I heard this is the first. I was in on SureCart. I actually was in I don't know how, because I didn't know Adam Pressier over at WP Crafter at the time. But when he announced that, I was watching his videos heavily. I still do, but like he was making way more back then, and now he's moved more to the product side for a lot of things. And I was in the initial SureCart Facebook group that was like the alpha or beta. Like I had that install of SureCart, and I tried it, and I was like, this is really cool. The concept of like headless though was really foreign to me at that point. And I was like, wow, this is like a Shopify experience seemingly. I don't know if it's changed. So I might be talking out of turn here, but all I remember is like you had to sign in and create like an account, and then you would manage it kind of somewhere else. But you obviously manage it on it was just a different experience fully than WooCommerce. And again, I don't know if it's changed, but that is really interesting to me. The fact that you can, it's just a different vibe. It's a lot lighter. And there's definitely some benefits there. I also thought it was interesting, real quick, very tiny drama. I thought it was interesting. I'm pretty sure that I'm getting this accurate. Adam made a video very recently about like SureCart is not just for it's not just for digital products, it's for physical products as well, which again, I haven't tested, but I'm assuming that is the case. But like, I think that came from, I want to say possibly like WP Toots like said, like it was for just digital products. But that from the beginning though, that definitely was the case. Like it did sound like it was kind of marketed that way, but the fact that it can do everything too. I mean, I want competition. I use WooCommerce now, but even if I use WooCommerce, I don't want them to be the only fucking option. Like that doesn't help me at all. That doesn't help anybody. So I'm pulling for everyone in this. I hope North Commerce evolves. I hope SureCart does. I hope WooCommerce continues to evolve. I'm trying to build a clothing shop using Woo and bricks. Yeah, I mean, obviously super high level there. I don't see any, I mean, obviously I don't know anything about that other than one sentence, but like, I think obviously definitely doable. I can't think of any specific problems just from that description that you'd like run into per se. But the things that I would think about are, I try to get all the pieces together. Like if you're building Woo and you're building bricks and you're building with bricks, okay, well, that's going to get you like a good percentage of the way there as far as like the tool set that you need. But then you need to ask yourself, like, what is your minimum viable product? I would highly recommend figuring that out, because those things can get complex fast, and you need to have like, I struggle with this on my own personal sites that don't really have a ton of different things going on. Like I need to finish my Mark Szymanski website, right? And if you're building a clothing website, understand what you need. Like you need a homepage and a shop page. Like if that's it, maybe an account or whatever, it could get a little complex, but keep it as simple as possible to begin with, because then you could layer in things like, I don't know, like deposits or subscriptions, like all sorts of other shit, if you wanted to build like a Fabletics type thing. So I would just say like have that minimum viable product and understand as much as possible how to get there. And if you're starting with Woo, then it's tougher than if you have some experience, even if it's in a different builder. But yeah, I mean, if you have specific questions, we can run through those as well. But hopefully relatively straightforward for you. But obviously, there's always going to be hiccups. It's all about automations. Index sites with external connections are way easier than income. Yeah, 100%. I need to get more into that because I want to do some of that for my own things. Yeah, there's a lot there. All right, let's talk about some drama. What do you say? It's not drama. Might be drama. I don't know. Let me pull it up. Okay, so I just wanna give my thoughts. Okay, that's what I do here, and I got to go to WordPress.com. Could you guys hear that, by the way? That video that just started. I don't know. I've never tried to react to a video or anything. I want to do that, but I've never tried to play it. So it's really interesting. Okay, so there's this video, right? Let me just drop that in there. Okay, cool. All right, so let's just take a look at this real quick. Okay, so there's this video, and it was just a really interesting perspective, and I want to comment on it. And I don't want to fucking type a bunch of shit because I hate typing, and I think it's very difficult to actually communicate via that. You know my stance on that. So WordPress.com, and there's WordPress.org, as we all know. WordPress.com is a is the commercial side of it. It has like the hosting and everything like that. We could talk more about that at length, but the point is that they have two different YouTube channels. I want to say the WordPress.org one has closer to like 30,000 subscribers. If I could be wrong, I don't know. But Jamie makes great content, talks about the block editor, really, really good for making content for the target audience that he has with building Gutenberg and the block editor. Okay, regardless of what you think about the block editor, Jamie is a great content creator. He's got 20,000 subscribers. You can't say shit about him. Okay, so, and also I've never talked to him like specifically personally, but there's also that speed challenge that's coming out that that I think the first episode is on the 19th. I could be wrong, but that's really interesting. We could talk about that at length too, because there's a couple different opinions there. Should you like want to be speedy? Should you want to build best practices? I'm more in the meta of all this. Okay. The meta of this is that everyone has a different target audience, and it's not communicated well enough from like the WordPress top down on that whole situation. That's honestly a separate discussion. You always need to preface with that. This video right here is the one in question with the 10 WordPress influencers you should follow in 2024. I saw this on Twitter and I immediately retweeted it and liked it, because I appreciate that type of content where, like, there's Kevin's on there, Remkes is on there. I'm just looking at this thing here. Matt's on there, WP Toots, Imran, like a lot of great people, right? And all it is a 5-minute video of Jamie Marsland talking about the 10 people or whatever. I think, 10 people that he admires and he's gotten value from in WordPress. Okay. This is a super niche thing, but I just wanted to give my 2 cents. I see literally nothing wrong with that. I do see, look, I'm going to unpack it because we're getting super in the meta here. The fact that that's on the WordPress.com website, I know Jamie has a partnership. He's been public about that. That's awesome. I'm cheering for that, because I think that is 100% necessary. I'm a little like concerned that it's on WordPress.com, because like that doesn't exactly line up with kind of like some of the other things, because there's still too many blurred lines there. But regardless, WordPress, org.com, whatever, partnering with creators that are doing good shit like Jamie, I'm all for that. Okay. That is great in my book. Okay. That video though in question is interesting because it's like put on there, but it doesn't, there's a couple things there. It's like every time there's a piece of WordPress content put out, I'm not perfect at this, but like every time there's a piece of content, like the target audience thing is always something that like I just immediately, like, that's got to be the first question. Like, who is this made for? So to me, I love that video. But if we're marketing towards like DIYers, do they give a shit about that? Like maybe they would. I'm going to say maybe, but I don't think all of them, but okay. But maybe. But regardless, I don't have a problem with the video. The only thing that I had was I saw a sentiment on, like, just here and there on different Twitter things. Zeets, I don't know, Z, what are they called? Zeets now? I don't know. But I saw a sentiment where like, we don't like lists. And I gotta push back on that to some degree. Like, we don't like lists like that, like listicles of people or what have you. And it's like this thought of we're not including people. It's like, I get where you're coming from, but it is like an opinionated list. Like, are we saying that we can't have an opinion on who we like? Like, I have to be like subscribed to everyone. I have to love everyone. Like I can't, like, I mean, that just doesn't even make any sense that like we have to take in information from everyone. So I'm not doing a good job, I don't think, even of actually communicating this right now. But just the sentiment that like that, like we don't like lists of people. I'm not saying it's like incredibly like a net positive to make a list of people that like you would think, but like I'm not gonna not make a list of people that I like. You know what I mean? Like, that just, because obviously people were left out. It's fucking 10 people. There's more than 10 people in the WordPress community. You know what I mean? So I mean, I get it. But it's just something that I can't wrap my head around entirely. Because it's a list of 10 people. We couldn't include everyone. It's 10. Also, it's seemingly Jamie's opinion of his 10. You know what I mean? So make your own list with your own 10, and that solves that problem, right? So I don't know. Just an idea. Brendan, the top 12,963 WordPress users to follow. We could do that. Make that fucking list. Rob. Yeah. I mean, make that list. That's all I'm saying. Again, it was a small thing. But I saw it like as a little bit of a sentiment, and it's just one of those things that kind of just crosses my wires, and I can't fully compute it. I get it. Everybody probably wants to be on that list. Fuck, I want to be on that list, but I'm not like mad that I'm not on that list, you know? So it's like, I don't know. There's a lot deeper there. But I just wanted to kind of say that because I didn't want to type that. And, I just thought it was kind of interesting as far as the concept there. But yeah, super small. Cypherlytics. WordPress. No, Cypherlytics. What's up, buddy? Peter, I'm curious who the we is in the we don't like list statement. I don't know if I don't know. Like, you could probably just search that. I mean, can you fault them? The vision doesn't match the reality Gutenberg wise. So no, yeah, I mean, I don't know if we're talking about the list there specifically, or we're just talking about the thing. Like, I think that the back to the target audience thing, which is the broader, like more important like conversation to have, is like, who are we building Gutenberg for? And I have a ton of these questions. I'll probably next week's will probably be a bunch of, if I ever get on a stream or have somebody on a stream that's deeper into that the world than I am currently, and or just more experienced. And I have a ton of questions like literally lined up, like, is WP still a community driven project? Like, community versus commercial. Like, why does or doesn't automatic like market WordPress? But like, I think like something we're seeing here on the WordPress.com YouTube page is kind of interesting in that, because it's able to kind of like you're starting to see it. But again, it's like, who are we kind of, again, I need to echo this, because if you take any of this out of context, you probably still think, wow, like Mark or XYZ or whoever like hates WordPress, hates Gutenberg, whatever. Not the fucking case. Okay. Literally just trying to like give opinions, because I think we can continue to push this boulder forward. Right. And again, like to echo what we talked about earlier, I'm excited to see what like Matt talks to a Webflow pro about today in 20 minutes, 15 minutes or whatever. Right. So I don't know, just very interesting. Oh, this is a good question. Who's on my favorite list? Everyone. Honest to God, I try to subscribe to literally every. Quick aside about this. When I started like 6 or 7 months ago or whatever, I took out all my YouTube subscriptions, and I like deleted all of them, and I started basically fresh from all of the people that it's like literally it's basically 99% WordPress people and like 1% maybe like business people, right? So like Hermosi. But that's it. Like that's pretty much all the content I consume now. And I will say that has changed me drastically, because it's drastically cut down on the amount of distraction that I have. Not only that, it also, I'll give you another pro tip, is you probably have a ton of Facebook. This is random shit, but I'll give it to you. You probably have a ton of Facebook friends from your like whole life that are on your Facebook profile, if you still have like the same one, which I did. And those people are awesome. Don't have anything against them. However, they post about random shit that like distracts the shit out of me, right? Memes or random shit or sporting events or whatever. If you go through your Facebook and unfollow the distraction people, don't unfollow your fucking family. Okay. But like, I'm saying, like, if you unfollow people that are like, it is a whole new world when you only get the stuff that is pertinent to your professional life, or the curated things of your personal life, in a sense, right? I say all that to say that to answer the question, who's on my favorite list, I literally can't tell you right now, because I have 57 subscriptions to people, plus a ton of people that don't make YouTube content. I will say, however, an idea that I've had for a very long time is, and I've been working on it, but I haven't formalized it, is to create like a database, which just probably already exists. I know it exists in different forms, maybe just not in the exact way that I'm thinking about it. A database of like, not necessarily WordPress influencers, okay, but like people, like good people. I literally named it like, what did I had it as a tab in like a HubSpot thing. It was like valuable connections, right? And it was like people that I knew, like I had their email address. I still have it, right? But it's like people that I could talk to if I need to, right? Like I could hit them up on Facebook or whatever. And I'm not just talking like random, like extra people or whatever, like straight up influencers, but just something like that I thought was really cool. And then obviously could be adapted to be like, these people are awesome. I know there's already lists like that. I just, because of the almost borderline decentralized nature of kind of some of this stuff, they probably exist in different places. I don't know. We'll work on it. It's in part the marketing effort, whatever, wish them well. Yeah. I don't know. Hopefully it continues on the upstream. We shall see. You have no idea how many people I unfollowed on Facebook. Yeah, no, yeah. And again, unfollow, don't unfriend. That's the secret. Are you familiar with the Trailer Park Boys? That's basically my potential friends hence list. Hence, I don't use Facebook for business. For me, it's more a reality shit. Yeah, yeah. Facebook is interesting. It's. I actually didn't use Facebook too much until I recently got into this WordPress thing because everybody has a Facebook group. So it's like I was on there, right? But I wasn't like doing too much. But now because everybody has a Facebook group seemingly in WordPress, you have to be on there. And my feed is basically all just group posts rather than like actual people, that I know, right? So it's kind of interesting. But yeah. All right. So we talked about the influencer video there. Oh, what other spicy topics did I have? It's almost time, boys. It's almost time. Jump over the WP minute. Have a ton of questions. We could still talk about those ones, but I'll probably save those for like a dedicated streamathon again. I do want to talk about real quick. There is this. Where is it? There was this video. So again, let's go back to the other thing. And this is completely in line with what we were talking about. Yet like earlier about ACSS and like in the marketing of everything. And yeah, can you guys tell me? Can you guys tell me if you can hear this once I put this on the screen? Because there's this tweet that I saw today from Sinon. Can you guys tell me if you? I'm sure you've seen it. Yeah, no, no sound. Okay. All right, we'll work on that then. But the point is that I'll drop this into the into the chat here. But obviously we all know Kevin, okay? And this is a really interesting, and credit to Sinon for this tweet. Z tweet again, I don't know. But yeah, so I saw this today and I like wanted to react to it and I was like thinking about what to say and I was like, fuck it. No, I'll just retweet it and say like, what do you think? And I just wanted to kind of like think about this. Like the essence of this was taken from I think the Monday stream, yeah, or Tuesday stream. And the essence of this again is nothing necessarily new here. We talked about it, but this was the first time that like I heard it put in a specific way, specifically from Kevin, but also just another thing, like in an all around way, is that I do my absolute best to not like completely shit on Gutenberg in a way that is disingenuous. Like I have not used it enough to actually comment heavily on if it's good, bad, or indifferent. I don't even want to do that. Like I don't want to shit on anything really. Like I just want to understand. And that's the problem that I always have is if I can't understand something, then it's like if I can't understand it, if like I can ask all the questions, I can have like hour-long chats with people and I can't understand something, then I'm not saying like, well, it's stupid, but I am saying that like if I fancy myself as a relatively like critical thinker and like I can pretty much come to the understanding of things, of how things are supposed to be like either marketed or how they're positioned or what they're supposed to do or this, that, the other thing. And when I know there's a lot of gray in the world, but like when you can't get to that, that's the frustrating part. And I think that like that is just what we're seeing here. And I don't know if there's a way to necessarily fix that, but that's kind of one of my goals is just literally clarity and enlightenment on like what the fuck is going on with some of these things. So the reason I bring up the clip from Kevin is because he says it in there in a way where, and I didn't realize this because I chatted with him offline about it. And he was talking about the fact that he works in both areas. And it's like, fuck yeah, he does. ACSS is built for Gutenberg. So like he's got to be in there, right? And we know the guy works like crazy. So I'm just thinking thinking out loud and I'm like, wait, do and this is no shit. I'm not giving shit here. I'm just asking a question. And I don't know if we have anybody in here today that's more like core inclined. But has anyone ever gone over to Bricks and like looked at what Bricks can do? I'm not saying it's even like a one-to-one comparison. I'm just saying like market research. Like this is what like Kevin and I, our chat was about, like market research. Like, are they looking at other shit? Like if you were today, we're going to try to start an electric car company. Like, wouldn't you like go to, even if you fucking hated Tesla, wouldn't you like try to figure out everything about Tesla so you could like build something that was like the same or better? You know what I mean? And I know it's different audiences. I know it's like different in that regard, but that's just the thing that like I'm still not understanding. And you know, I always appreciate Kevin's perspective. I always appreciate all you guys' perspectives. And that's the big thing for me is that put it in a different light for me. The fact that, wait, are we not looking at the other tools as well? And are we using the excuse that like, well, no, we can't build with a page builder because we have to custom code everything as the excuse? Because like, I think that this is actually the part that confuses me the most. And let me go to the comments here for a second. Maddie, hey, we're just checking in. Gonna keep sitting here until I understand what we're doing. Appreciate you, Maddie. Oh, you're friends with J-Rock and Ricky Rob. Great guys, but I know what you mean. Let me see here. Nope, no sound. No sound. Damn. Not seen it. Not sure what it's about. It's a goddamn tweet. Well, it was taken from, yeah, it was taken from the thing. Did I put it in there? Yeah, okay, I did. Okay. They refuse you can see in the wide width and none naming convention who speaks like that. Right there with you. I've been asking myself the same question, not just Gutenberg. I'm building something beautiful right now. I wonder how did they implement this? Okay, yeah. So to kind of wrap it up, because we're getting towards the end here, we got to go. Everybody got to go over the WP minute here when we're done. The super duper Thursday lineup. But to kind of like wrap this up kind of in a way is, again, like if, like the part that I'm confused on actually, like this is even one step further. Fuck bricks for a second. Okay. Elementor has millions of fucking users. Like it is actually one of the only ones that markets itself as like a DIY page builder in a way, right? I mean, maybe not the only one, but kind of one of them, right? Are we doing any market research there? And maybe the answer is yes, but I'm literally curious, because if we did market research there for like people that, you know, like designers or DIYers, like I know people that I don't know if you guys ever, I'll talk about this real quick. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Wes McDowell on YouTube, but his videos pop up and they're kind of interesting to me sometimes. And I specifically looked into his business model, and it's very interesting. Honestly, got to take my hat off to him, because like it's very interesting what he's created there. And go look at his channel, just Wes. If you type in WES, you'll find him. He's got like 200 some thousand. But to you know, kind of wrap this is, he was doing, I think, agency work, design work, whatever. And then he created like a course on how to teach. He's not teaching developers how to build websites. He's teaching fucking concrete layers and, you know, bakers and real estate consultants how to build their own website using Elementor. And I was like, my fucking mind exploded when I saw that. I was like, oh my God, I'm a little torn, like not ethically, but like my thought process on that is like a little torn. But I'm thinking, wow, that is an interesting concept, because like you normally I feel like you normally see that like, oh, build this in Wix or build this in Squarespace. No, he's actually telling people, and I know these videos have existed on the internet, but like I didn't know how like serious people kind of took them. But it's a full course in a full platform and community and everything, but you're in there with other random business owners that are also trying to build a site with Elementor by yourself. My point is that I'm sure people have been successful from that. I'm sure he's made a lot of money, and people have been successful from that program. What I'm saying is, like, if that can be done, why didn't we just make the fucking Gutenberg editor the same thing as Elementor? Like, why? Like, if it can be done there, why didn't we just do that same thing here? If that's the goal, or if that's close to the goal. Now, I understand nobody, you know, people like also shit on Elementor because of the foundational and the way it produces code in the DOM and all that sort of stuff. I actually give it a little bit of a pass because it was created in a different time. And if they refactor the code, I think they could do a lot of things. Obviously I don't use it, but I understand the reality of the situation to a degree. But my long and short of my point here is, like, that thing has been proven that people can use that. Why didn't we just like create something similar, but with a better code output? I don't know how fucking difficult these things are. but I'm just thinking out loud because I'm just trying to understand. Just trying to understand. You get a sub. Yeah. Was that like a was that a movie quote or something that I kind of missed? Flew right over my head. It's embarrassing how much Elementor is better, and I hate Elementor. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's tough. Or at least make the end goal generate press, since they're basically done with it, but in the block editor. Yeah. I mean, again, I think Kevin said it on a stream the other day. If Gutenberg was the block editor, boom. Or if Gutenberg was generate press, totally. I don't know, guys. Listen, I need to stress this again, okay? Because at some point, we're gonna get like our 30th visitor in here, and somebody's gonna be pissed and take some of this stuff out of context, and then I'm gonna be in shit and hell and high waters. Are gonna come my way. I want to stress this. I want the best for this fucking platform. I build websites on WordPress. I don't plan on going anywhere. I want it to continue I want it to continue to get better. I'm just literally just thinking out loud and just literally most of the time asking questions and giving a little bit of insight and opinion here and there. And I'm not the only person who thinks like this. I'm just the one talking to the fucking microphone. So, and there's other people talking to the microphone too. So that's all we're kind of saying here, I don't know if I would love a world where you could only use Gutenberg, but if Gutenberg was, I've said this a million times and I don't understand why people don't like, I think it still actually gets pushback. If Gutenberg had every feature of every page builder in it, I'd use it. Like it's like, and I'm not saying that as in like that's the only way I'd use it, but I'm saying like that logically makes sense. If it is like that, if it was in reality like that and not everybody was using it, that wouldn't make any sense. So it's a free fucking tool. If it was better than everything, everybody would use it. So that's the part that to me, like even without having the experience, it's like still, wait, what? Like how does that doesn't make any sense. Like if there's arguments around that, it doesn't make any sense. Okay, that's me, business owner, but with technical background, there is a market for it. Yeah, definitely. There's definitely a market for it. That's the West stuff. Yeah. Lots of tutorials give specifics of hosting page builders and plugins, often with affiliate links. Yeah. And again, we could talk about affiliate links and stuff at length. If you ever see an affiliate link from me, it is going to be for something that I actually use and I actually care about. If you don't want to use it, just fucking Google it. I totally understand everybody has aversions to affiliate links because they think they're being like sold snake oil and shit. Totally get it. But if I, fuck with the person and I know that they're legit, I normally click the affiliate link. But you do what you want. But I totally get your point there, Peter. Just from a logic perspective, why wouldn't you take ideas, not the bad code, from builders with 100% extra user base? I fully agree there. I fully agree. WP remains the platform on which these other things are built, and the commitment to backwards compatibility limit such total overhauling. Yeah, 100%. I don't know the technical aspects of this in its entirety as well. I think most of the things that I was kind of like loosely referencing there, though, were from a UI perspective of Gutenberg, which was kind of built kind of sort of from the ground up, right? And Elementor was maybe not as popular, but was pretty popular, I think, maybe when we started this project. So that's kind of the thought process. I'm just thinking that is the way that my mind works as a business owner, potentially like a product owner at some point. And that I feel like has done a lot of other I've no success compared to other people. And I know that it's done them well. So that's just what I operate off of. I think if Elementor, Divi, and other builders do implement all the same type of features as Bricks, it would send a message to WordPress core. Yeah. I hope they do. And I think they probably will, because I think Elementor and Divi, I thought Divi was doing a refactoring, but I saw a video from Imran Web Squadron about Elementor just like got a performance boost. I don't know how they did that, but that's something to look into. So that's it. We are butting up against time here. Got to go watch Matt. Everybody got to go watch the Webflow conversation. We wish them the best. I love that. Yes. I'm going to start saying that, Isaac. I'm stealing that from you. Have to go, sexy people. Nice skating. Thank you for coming. Thanks for the good time speaking. Yep, absolutely. Spreading some love as always. You really have to think through the value of an extendable platform and the power of plugins versus just core. Okay, feel that. FSC and block theming is just as easy as any page builder to do, and it does more than you think. And like every tool, it takes time to learn for sure. I will, I'll look into it more and I'll continue to use it. I do think Oxybricks and Quickly, some of the other latest gen builders really send a message to the OGs. Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I hope they continue to evolve. Yeah, appreciate you guys. Yeah, sorry to cut it short. Sorry to cut it short here, guys. But I'm gonna drop this link here real quick, and then I'm gonna scoot over to the thing here because I'm really interested in this Webflow conversation. I think we should all go in there and talk about what we think. What we think about the Webflow conversation. Oh, and they're live right now. Okay. All right. Well, you got the link. Go check it out. WordPress versus Webflow. Thank you guys so much for being here. Next week, most likely 11 a.m., unless I say otherwise. So, all right. We'll see you guys. Thank you so much for being here.